Is Daily Rosewater coming to you on today. We're going to be going over some more stories. I can only tell you stories I know while walking the journey of life, the truth I witnessed, testify that mountain climbing is tough, witness that flowers grow everywhere. So here is a bit of rosewater from me. Today's topic is marriage, dating, and finding a spouse. So let's get started. There's some rose water for your garden. First, I'm going to give some background. In this journey, I found that people are, women are searching for husbands. I found young people never really got the foundation they needed to have those principles to have a good relationship, and that people been chasing all manner of things that really had nothing to do with having a good marriage or dating properly or even setting the vision of what their spouse needs to be for them and who they need to be for their spouse. So we're going to move on from there. Uh, my first topic, I would say, my first part of this topic is that for dating, I'm going to hit those big ones and then come back and support it with some other things. So for dating, I would say that every culture or all manner of people have their own idea about dating, when people should start dating. And my thing is that if your mind is not set for yourself and who you are yet, then dating should not be off the should be off the table. It should not be something that you're concentrating on, is what I wanted to say as well. So as a young person, I would say that yeah, interest starts sparking at a certain teenage or preteen level. Oh, you see somebody look good or whatever. But friendship is fine. Don't add that extra stress onto to yourself, and teach your children not to do that. Teach your preteens, your teens not to do that to themselves, because they really, really don't know who they are yet. You know, it's okay to have your best bud, your best friend, but serious dating, set some goals or boundaries. This is how far we can go at this age, that age, or the next age until we get to be adults. And just because the government says at 18 you're an adult doesn't mean you're still fully, excuse me, equipped to handle a full-blown relationship. Can you pay your bills? Can you take your person out without assistance from somebody else? Do you have the wherewithal to deal with a breakup? Do you have the skills you need emotionally to go on that type of roller coaster? And if the answer is no, don't open yourself up to it yet, and go get the skills you need. And they're out there. I believe it's really a good thing to start teaching children with social emotional learning at an early age, awareness of who they are and how their feelings are, and what to do if they are not in a ready to go attitude, or ready to process attitude. So there are skills that people need to know before they start inviting someone into their life in a serious relationship. And I believe that's for everybody. So let's go down that list. Um, Marriage. Everybody's in their culture, how they're raised, have their own intentions for marriage and what it means for them. Just know yourself before you get involved with someone else. And when you get involved with someone else, you need to know what they expect in a marriage. Are you seriously compatible? Don't just be out there wandering and inviting everybody into your inner circle. That's just an invitation of a lot of foolishness. Uh, And just because they look like they fit the bill doesn't mean they fit the bill. So the last one is finding a spouse. I still believe that in the nature of who we are, hunters and gatherers, and the true nature of who we are, that women should not be aggressively charging after a husband, because seriously, a person that you're aggressively seeking is going to let you do whatever you're doing for them. If you're buying clothes and doing whatever, and you're being the provider, and they might just let you do all of that, even if they haven't considered that they want you as their spouse. Because I've seen women do this, and then the man end up just out of the blue picking somebody else, putting a ring on their finger and walking off with them. And that caused a lot of confusion, and you see stories about that on the news all the time. So people don't like that. They feel like they've been wronged, and then they go cuckoo, 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 because everything snapped. They were doing stuff for a totally different purpose and didn't realize what it was going to be like. So, and you see that on those court shows a lot of times. And I seen the judge say, a man will tell you if he really wants you. He knows if he really wants you or not. They just leading you on until they find something better, or vice versa with a man or a woman. People are just going to be people. So know what you're doing, why you're doing it, and the purpose of it. And if you set the boundaries like that in the beginning, more than likely it's not going to shift once the ring is on the finger, or like I said, they might just put the ring on somebody else's finger. So let's move on through this rose water list. Set your intentions for your life. Even as a child, if you're in a home that is not giving you what you need to prepare yourself for life, or marriage, or dating, or a spouse, look around and see what other people are doing as well. Be observant as a teenager, be observant as a young adult, be observant of other aspects of how people's lives are. You want a family that sits down to dinner every night. You don't want a party house to live in and raise your family. You don't want to live in a party house. So eventually people will just grow up to seek out better for themselves, or they might just stay in it where they are. And for that, you need to write a list, check off that list. If those people don't fit what you're looking for, move on. Don't help them change, look for them to change, because they gotta want to change. And so the other thing with that is, you don't want to end up the woman at home trying to figure out what to do because the husband always out running around with their friends, getting drunk, getting high, still partying. You had the kids now. You don't want the party house anymore. But guess what? He was a party house when you met him, and that's probably what he liked. That's probably what he gonna always like. That's maybe how he was raised, and he don't want to do no better. He can do better. He can choose to change. I'm not saying people can't change, but they have to want to change. They have to have a desire to do better. And sometimes just having children with them is not going to do it. Be aware of who you're picking and choosing. Don't just hang out and be there and, oh, they look so good. Hey, guess what? The package is just that, the package. Unwrap it, see what's in it. Know what kind of principles they actually have, what kind of character they actually have. I just remember a pastor saying one time, he was like, women, it takes about 5 years to get to know somebody. You need to go to some family gatherings, see how they act, because they could be hiding something and the family just want to get rid of them as much as they do. They're not going to tell you everything. you know Maybe they're being hopeful that you will help them change, but guess what? He was a wife beater when you met him, he was a girlfriend beater when you met him, and he's still beating up on women. So the other one, set your intentions, like I said, for yourself. Know thyself. Okay? Write it out. Read it to yourself. Does that match up with you? Get some research done about social emotional awareness, setting goals for your life as in marriage, in dating, in a spouse, and who you want to be as a spouse. Well, keep your eyes on yourself and your journey, and you will love yourself first. You have to know how to love yourself first. Take good care of yourself and expect that the person you're going to be with will do so as well. Make sure that what kind of family they want to have, what kind of home they want to have. When you're dealing with people, do not waste time. You can have lots of good friends, but do not waste time on letting people in your inner circle thinking you're going to change them. They have to want to change, and you need to ask the questions, so you know what circle to put them in. Oh, he's a keeper for a friend. He's a possibility for a husband. Well, just sit them there and leave, or a wife. Sit them there and leave them there. Okay? Uh, Keep your eyes on yourself. Now, I'm going to say this because I know a lot of people first was like, if you're a widow or widower, family is trying to find you somebody. You've been alone too long. Let me find you somebody else. You got those busybodies in your family, in your circle, whatever, and they start finding you a bunch of jokers and knocking on your door with a joker and blind dating you. Okay, if you're a queen and you're looking for a king, please put up a sign that say no jokers allowed. And I'm not talking about people who, their job doesn't pay enough. They don't drive a nice car. Um, no, I'm talking about people who don't take care of themselves, don't care to take care of themselves, doing illegal stuff, abusive stuff. I'm talking about extremes, because everybody's a work in progress. I'm saying you don't have to close the door because their job is not, but if they're on a pathway that they are looking to get a career, they're going to go take some technical classes or college classes, they're on a pathway and y'all going on the same pathway. That's the thing too. You want to look for people on the pathway that you're going on, because if you try to drag somebody onto your pathway, they're going to possibly drag both of y'all into a ditch, and you don't want to be in that ditch. Keep your eyes on yourself and the journey. All right. Is this pathway going where I wanted to go? If no one else respects you, please respect yourself. That goes again for even family members, even your parents. Your parents, treat you like a slave and treat you like you just extra baggage, and your needs and your wants and your vision and your plan, nobody's caring to ask about it, or where you want your marriage, or what do you want, who you want to marry, or what kind of person. If they're not asking and they're allowing anybody to come through the door to approach you, then you need to set boundaries for yourself as a young adult, as a teenager, as whomever you are, wherever you are. Know thyself. and set boundaries for yourself. You don't want to be bothered. You grow up in a party house, your parents just having a good time and letting anybody talk to you, know you, get all up in your business or whatever. Start securing your information and your business and keep it to yourself. Okay, raise up the young women and young men around you as an elder, as a member of your community. Like I'm trying now because I had so many people coming to me saying, "Pray for me. This is happening. Oh, I'm getting ready. I see the person putting their ring on their finger. I said, you had to buy your own ring. Let me tell you about that. If you had to buy your own ring, woman, and you getting ready to marry this man, something's not right in the picture. Wait, let him get enough money, even if it's $100 ring, a $50 ring, a $25 ring, a $5 ring, a bubblegum machine ring. He bought it and he put it on your finger in the hopes that in the future he will value a more expensive, more valued ring. Or even a tattoo. I've seen people with tattoo rings. They paid for it, okay? The other person paid for it. The spouse, not you, the other person paid for it, okay? And okay. And the woman buying his ring and her ring. Ding ding ding. Problem in there. Problem in there. All right. Teach them, um, elders, please teach the people around you character principles, respect, tell them the story because I know there's been people that's giving advice like you got a man giving advice to another young man about women and he don't even like women, but he advising this young man. It could be a family member, it could be somebody in your community, but you can even check yourself. Who are you getting your information from? Where's your source coming from? People telling you about how to handle your husband. And they've been with the man that abused them all their life. And then when the man got too old to do anything stupid, like run around on them, be abusive to them, disrespecting them in the community, neighborhood, they know he's sleeping around with everybody. And now he too old to do anything else but stay with you and you think sitting there going, aha, I won, I got the prize. Guess what? I don't believe that's a prize. I believe that's a forfeit. There you go. So, is that really the kind of person you want to be attached to? I'm not telling anybody to go get a divorce. I'm just saying the people you getting advice from, is that really what you want? Because you at home now with nothing but you and him. The kids don't want to be bothered with you. Your neighbors don't. Nobody want to be bothered with you because they know how that person really is. And you just want to be there because you're saying, I won. The other women didn't get him. I got him. How good is that? That's not good. At least in my opinion. So if somebody giving you advice, you need to, you know, understand where they're coming from. Also, when it comes to kids or whatever, if you got an elder that's telling people, how to raise your kids, how to handle your family and your children and everything, and they never wanted to be a wife, they never wanted to be a mother, and they don't like their kids. Really, don't get advice from people. You want a loving, kind, supportive woman who understands the truth of the matter. That's the kind of person you want to get advice from. And there's plenty of places to go to get resources to handle relationship, counseling, whatever you need, get the tools you need to be the person you want to be and raising your children before you get to that point of having the children, the husband or the wife. Choose peaceful, kind, loving character principles. Always choose peace. I understand also that training in mediation is a really good tool to have because training in social emotional awareness and mediation is a good tool to have. Mediation skills help you to maneuver through conflict. There will always be some sort of conflict. However, you can always find a way to agree to disagree or agree on what you can do in order to manage. like money or how you're going to do certain things in your lifestyle of your home. So you can mediate those things. You can even contract those things. Okay. Dress as royalty and dress where you are going. So yeah, I'm saying to you, when I say royalty, I don't mean you got to have the most expensive of the most expensive and look like all these models and the elites of the world. I'm saying clean clothes, good clean hair, take care of your hair, your face, your eyes, your teeth, your health, your body, and your mind and your spirit, and the clothes that you wear, fresh, clean, crisp clothes. Walk out the door at the best of the best of your best. Okay? Take care of your mind, body, and spirit. There are plenty of tools you can do. It's here. You can do virtual walks. You can do mediation. You can do real walks, hiking, yoga, meditations, faith-based counseling, spiritual awareness, good, clean, healthy music that's pumping into your spirit and helping you detox. Keep yourself on target. A good person to be with, okay? Non-toxic, okay? Because the person you're expecting to attract is going to want to be around someone that has that motivational, high energy, inspirational. You're feeding off of each other. It's not that your cup is always empty and they're filling it, or their cup is always empty and you're filling it. It's the fact that you have two full cups pressed down, shaking, and running over with abundance of ideas, creativity, vision, thoughts, purpose, where you're going in life. Just filling each other up every day. And then resting at night and getting ready for the new day. That's what you want for your spiritual journey, your natural journey. Set affirmations about yourself. Okay, everybody's always looking at, ooh, who he look good, she look good. They are going, searching on the hunt. However, do you look good? What's coming out of your mouth? What's coming out of your eyes and ears? What image are you projecting with the clothes you're wearing? Are you being a gentleman? Are you being a lady? Do you expect? Because if you let the world set the standard for you, the world is jacked up. Seriously. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say on that. I'm not judging anybody, but know thyself. If you don't want kids that's going to, when you're in your family and you're raising up your children and all of a sudden all this crazy stuff start happening with them and you wonder where that came from, check your partner. Because if you said, we didn't do nothing, no, okay, you haven't been watching that pot while it was boiling. Okay? You haven't been doing your due diligence while they're being raised up. You didn't check all the boxes and all the areas of everything on that person you partnered up with. Now something's coming out. And that's where it came from. So that's that nature versus nurture issue. And yeah, study it, know it, and you can do some things. Like I said, what was it? Humanmetrics. Humanmetrics is a personality test. I don't know if I already talked about it. You can go online and check it. You can go online and check for social emotional awareness. You can check character counts for character principles. The 6 ones that are best for a young person, and then there are 10 more. You can go down the list of those. Just study, see the examples, and try to also go through scripture. Use your faith-based program to help you. And also, like I said, know who is teaching you what they're teaching you and why they're teaching it to you. So those are your choices. I'm not going to sit and pick choices for you on here and tell you this is the best thing, because I'm not going to be the preacher or the teacher. I'm just sharing what I've seen and what has worked. Lastly, Write the plans, write the vision, promise, and expectations for yourself and the people in your circle. And travel with people who have the character principles. Um, yes, very much so. Travel with people that have the character principles, because if you in your inner circle and in your home are opening the door to whomever, whenever, and just having an open door, you're asking for trouble, because invitation was an invitation. Okay. Um, Write the plans, the vision, the promises you want for yourself and your life and your spouse and your children, your family, the expectations for yourself. And if people are not at that level, doesn't mean you need to close the door on them, just means they might need not to be in your inner circle. Okay? They need to be in your circle at all. This is Rosewater. Thank you for listening. Let's say a prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Thanks be to God. Have a blessed day. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.